Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Space Engine. It's been a while, and I apologize, but I will be getting back to this. My brother has started staying with us for a little bit, so I've been having less time where I can record without him getting mad at me for talking loud, because he's a bit of a bastard like that. But that's not important. Anyways, we're here where we left off, around this lovely planet. There we go. This lovely planet outside of the Milky Way, which is right over there. Which I think we're in one of the Magellanic Clouds, but I can't remember which. But yeah. Actually, what was that really bright star that was over? Oh, wow. Oh, this is the moon. Oh, I'm disoriented now. Oh, what's happened? Oh, well, never mind that. What's this over here? A moon. Hot desert. Oh, let's go. Oh yeah, I might as well advertise this now. I do have another channel. It's a science channel where I do a lot of practical science and whatnot. But of course, I've only uploaded about, I think, two videos at this point. I have one video where it's like fossils I uploaded a long time ago. I made one today about measuring radioactivity in water from rainwater because people were complaining about Fukushima, and I was trying to quell some of the fears. This is an interesting little. Whoa, are those basins? It's kind of cool. Swirly weather patterns. But yeah, so I'll put a link to that in the description. You can go check it out. I will actually add more to that channel. I'll do practical science, like experiments and whatnot, and factual videos. But that's still not going to stop me from doing science videos on this channel, just in game form. Well, that one's going to be more practical science, where I build stuff or explain stuff and talk about stuff. And I will actually add more to that channel. It's just for the time being, I focus more on this channel and some other stuff, and I haven't really gotten around to that channel. But yeah, you can go check it out. Subscribe if you're interested. I'll probably start uploading more to that channel eventually. I'll start doing more interesting stuff. It'll be interesting. It'll be good. But for the time being, it's kind of barren. Whoa. I think yeah, I have two very bad. I used to have more, but a few of them are really bad, so I got rid of them. Whoa, oh, hello. It has an atmosphere. Let's check its atmospheric pressure. It's 3.5806, so it's roughly 3.5 times thicker than Earth's atmosphere. Very nice. I'll let the terrain generate. The temperature is 548 Kelvin, so it is kind of hot. The greenhouse effect is 158.2 Kelvin. Thick atmosphere, I can see that. Gravity, 0.4. Okay, so it's less than Earth. What's its mass? Yeah, its mass is less than Earth. That's interesting. Yeah, because you notice like where it says mass, there's the number, there's the M, the circle with the cross in it. The circle with the cross in it is the astronomical symbol for Earth. So yeah, kind of like how the circle. Let's see, the circle with the cross in it is Earth. The sun, I think, is a circle with a dot in the middle. Yeah, there we go. And those are the two major ones that are used in astronomy because you have Earth masses and solar masses. And in this case, we use Earth masses. But yeah, this is an interesting little planet. What topic should we talk about today, since I'm just faffing about the galaxy? I was actually interested about one of my last videos I talked about it was like deja vu or something. It was a while ago. No, it wasn't deja vu. It was sensory. It involved sensory. That's all I know. I haven't looked at my videos in a few days. But remember I was talking about something that involved perception. What was it? I'm very forgetful. I'll think about it. Let's find something else to fly to in this cloud of Magellanic awesome. Orange dwarf binary. Yeah, sure. Da, 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 da. Oh, cabin fever. That's right. I was talking about cabin fever in my KSP video. Yeah, cabin fever is actually interesting because there's a number of factors. There's physical and psychological, and a lot of the physical factors that go along with it is actually just a part of like the programming in the brain itself. All right, F2. Let's check out the larger star first. We have 11 planets. Interesting. They all seem to be gaseous giants. That has a few moons. Let's try the other star. The smaller one has a few of the planets. Hot sun, warm gas giant, 2 moons. That is a hot Oceania with 2 moons. Let's go. But yeah, cabin fever. This is kind of interesting because I was thinking about this. the other day, and how it's kind of a I stopped going towards it to go, and how it's more kind of like a it's like a mixture of lack of stimuli and the constant stimuli of your surroundings cause you to go bonkers. Because like the brain will naturally kind of pick and choose what what it will show and what it will not. Like for example, when you go to a restaurant, when you first oh, it's a nice planet. When you first walk into the restaurant, you'll notice the smells of all the food and all that, all the noise around you, and it's interesting. But after about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour in, you'll kind of not notice the smells and the sounds and the sights around you because your brain has kind of like stopped cataloging them. It's kind of dumbed them out. And this is I guess what your brain does naturally to kind of prevent yourself from like having like, it's kind of like your computer picking and choosing what to do to free up space. And that's kind of what your brain does. So a cabin fever, in a way, is kind of like when you're in a when you're in a area that has the same surroundings, but there's nothing to add additional surroundings. So like if you're in a room and you're just there for months or weeks and weeks and weeks, then your brain kind of starts dumbing down the surroundings around you. And since there's no more, stimuli being brought in, this looks kind of like Moho from KSP. And since there's not a lot of new information being brought into your brain will kind of want to start, paring down what it's paying attention to, but then you just kind of like start going bonkers because basically your mind will start trying to entertain itself. So your brain is talking to itself, and it's kind of interesting. It's actually quite a few like nerve cells are interesting in that way that they'll actually like pick and choose, or they're not really like they're not able to have constant stimulation because like it's not like a nerve cell. It does not operate on electrical impulses like a wire. It's more like electrochemical, where it uses an electrical like an electrical action potential, whoa, to start a chemical reaction, which is the actual information carrier. Like for a like for a neuron, it's like an action potential is produced, which makes sodium gates open down the kind of like a wave down the axon. It's complicated. Actually, it's not that complicated. It's pretty easy, but this is a very interesting terrain. But anyways, if you have constant, like, if the nerve cell has constant bombardment by this, then it won't have time to reset, and it'll start just basically not showing any information at all. Kind of like if you have like a wire or a light, and you're trying to like, pulse lights to it. Once you pulse enough, the light will kind of just stop pulsing, or it looks like it stops pulsing, and it's just like a continuous light, and then you go blind from looking at it. Same kind of idea. The nerve cells gets like over the top and can't, continue or can't keep producing information. The same actually works in the eye, because the eye works by the rod and cone cells have chemicals in them. Like I think they're polymers or something, and they're photosensitive. So like when you look at something, the light will hit the nerve cell and then hit the chemical inside it, like the protein. I don't know. I think it's like a protein. It's like an organic polymer protein. Anyways, and it strikes it and it changes its shape. And when it changes its shape, it produces an impulse, which then goes on your optic nerve into your brain. And that's how your eye works. It's just the chemical reaction. And if you ever notice, like if you look at a bright light and you look away and you're seeing dots where the light used to be, that's because there's a little patch of cells on your retina that have been overloaded and they haven't and the chemical hasn't gone back to its like non-fired state. So your brain's basically getting a constant stream of information from those cells. Yeah, so you basically get a dot in the middle, and that's just kind of goes along with the whole nerve cell overwhelming. And that's more just the actual cells itself, not so much the brain. But I know that with actual physical touch, the brain will sometimes cut in as well and prevent over over information overload. So with cabin fever is basically there's also some psychological aspects to cabin fever. The biggest problem being that we're sentient. Actually, most mental problems, the main factor is because we're sentient. The ability to think and comprehend can really cause problems to a brain. It's kind of funny. But there's also just because how our brain's hardwired. Yeah, nerves are interesting. I've spent a lot of time studying them. It's like if you take your arm and you kind of lightly scratch a patch of your arm for about a minute or two, and then you kind of rub your finger over it, you'll notice that you have like the touch sensation on that patch of your arm. It feels like it's numb, and it's because the touch sensors in your arm have basically just been overloaded, and are just like, you know what, calm down, and then you can't feel anything until they come back, which is usually a few seconds. Like, it's not like you've overloaded it completely. But that's actually kind of why like addictions can be so damaging, or they can evolve and grow. It's because if you keep getting the same feelings and your brain actually becomes used to the like the input, usually like dopamine receptors, whatever, and your brain starts to kind of numb it out. So you have to have more of a dose to get the same effect. And it's interesting. Actually, the same kind of happens with like sex. If you overdo it, you'll start losing sensation. Both guys and gals, not me. This is a creepy conversation, but I don't care. And it's kind of funny actually, because you have to like, a lot of people freak out, and it's like just stop being that way for a while, you'll be fine. What is this? A scorched ice giant? Hang on. A scorched ice giant. Yeah, we're going there. An ice giant is kind of like a gas giant. For example, Uranus and Neptune are ice giants. But how do you get a scorched ice giant? Looks like Uranus. Alright, what is the mass? 22.768 Earth masses. So it's a bit bigger than Neptune. Wow, okay, I didn't think you could get ice giants this close to the sun. Well, actually, there's a theory that Uranus and Neptune both formed close to the sun and migrated out. So maybe this is something that it formed here and it hasn't either migrated out yet, or it's just got locked in a stable orbit. Interesting. Interesting indeed. I don't normally see. Like, look at that. That's a very hot temperature for an ice giant. That's intriguing. I've never seen this before. What's this over here? Scorched. Wow, there's a lot of really hot planets. Scorched asteroids go there. Huh. Interesting. 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 A lot of very close orbiting bodies to the star. Diameter 133.782 kilometers. So it's comparable to like Phobos around Mars. Oh, what's that over there? Oh, we're in the small Magellanic Cloud, because that's the large one over there. Huh, didn't even notice that. What's that? Hot desert. Let's go to the hot desert. I like hot deserts. Maybe we can go back to the Milky Way, because actually there's a lot of stuff we can do here on the Magellanic Cloud. 13 minutes in, I've already said my bit about nerves. I can keep going on that topic, I guess. I don't know. This looks kind of like Venus. In fact, even the cloud patterns look like Venus. Huh, it's like Venus. Let's check the temperature. 763.46 Kelvin. It's pretty close to Venus. Mass, it's smaller than Earth, so there's that. Greenhouse effect 253.23 Kelvin. Let's land. I'm kind of curious about this planet. I like mysterious planets that are shrouded in clouds. That's why I'm kind of a big fan of Venus, because Venus is pretty cool. Venus was actually the center of the Soviet space program's exploration program for a while there. Mostly because at the time, oh my goodness, it's bright down here. Mostly because at the time, nobody really knew what Venus was like, and there was some conjecture to whether it was like Earth, like a sister to Earth, where it had life and all that, because all they saw was clouds. And a lot of people really did not know, so they would actually think that, yeah, maybe it had life on it. I know the astronomer Carl Sagan was one of the few guys who thought that no, Venus was probably just like a desert with clouds made of silicates or something like that. But it turned out that no, it was just a really hot desert with clouds of sulfides and stuff. Wow, this is an interesting planetscape. Like, seriously. 23 meters off the ground, and it's like the atmosphere is thick. Atmospheric pressure is 109 times that of Earth. Actually, almost 109, almost 120. 119, 120, yeah. Wow. I like this. This is cool. It's also very bright. There's a lot of sunlight seeping through. It must be really close to the star. Huh. You think you've seen it all, and you find a new kind of planet. I like this. Because a lot of the times we've been to have clear atmosphere. This one has a very hazy atmosphere. This game never ceases to surprise me, you know? I guess that's why I should just keep playing it. No, I enjoy playing it. What are these? These like little sand things, or is that liquid of some kind? In this temperature, I doubt it wouldn't be water. So, hmm, intriguing. Well, let's get off this planet. Actually, wait. Oh, what have I done? I want to move off it a little bit so I can see the terrain from the air. Kind of. I like to see some mountains and valleys, some geological things. Actually, that's probably all wind blown, actually. And judging by the cloud shapes, there's probably a lot of high winds higher up, kind of like Venus's atmosphere, where you have really, really severe winds high in the atmosphere and then like nothing near the ground. Actually, Venus's atmosphere is kind of like looking through water. When you're on the surface, the atmosphere is so thick. It's pretty cool. Well, that was a fun little escapade onto a horrible, horrible planet. But let's see if we can find a pretty one, shall we? 7 planets, a GIV. Oh, G1V. Yellow dwarf. I haven't found a G star in a while. Let's go. Let's go. I know our sun's a G2. This is a G1. So it'd be very similar. Kind of like Alpha Centauri or Beta Centauri. No, Alpha Centauri Beta. Alpha Centauri B. It has 7 planets. What wonders await? Let's find out. This is probably the easiest series I have to do on this channel because I just talk about basically nothing and people enjoy it. It's great. Like, and it's not like I'm just, ooh, a warm Terra with moons or one moon. No, it's great. Like, I enjoy it. It's just kind of funny that that more people seem to enjoy the videos where I just talk about science. It makes me happy, actually. It's some hope people enjoy facts. This video is almost up. This is a warm Terra. How old is it? It's pretty old. Atmospheric pressure is pretty. Oh, okay. The atmosphere is thinner than Earth. Temperature is about the same. Size, a little smaller. It has one moon, which I saw it a second ago. Is that it? That's a nebula. Ooh, we'll go there next. Alright, where's this moon? There's its moon. It's maybe like an early Earth, or maybe like an Earth analog, you know. Terrestrial planet with a decent atmosphere, decent temperature, single moon. Prevents it from tumbling in its orbit. How does the moon look? The moon actually has an atmosphere. It has a thick atmosphere. Jesus, 23 atmospheres. Okay, so its moon has a thicker atmosphere than it does. Okay, so similarities to our planet are gone because our moon doesn't have an atmosphere. Well, I guess you could say it does, but to put it into perspective, the amount of like gases that the lunar like the amount of gas that the lunar modules deposited on the moon when they landed was equal to the amount of gas that was around the moon already. So there's like there's no atmosphere essentially. At that point, it's just like semantics. Let's go to this nebula. Kind of like how Europa technically has an atmosphere, but it's incredibly thin. Or even Mercury has an atmosphere, but it's very, very, very thin, so it's kind of hit and miss whether or not you want to classify it. This is interesting. Absolute matter luminosity 62. Whoa. Well, it's an RN object, so it's a random nebula, so it's not real. But it looks like it has it looks like it's made of like two roundish blobs of gas. So I'm gonna assume this was formed by a star that exploded. Like, there's a few nebulas that are like that, where like the star will eject out massive plumes at the poles, so you get like a bell shape kind of to it. And that's kind of what I'm gonna assume here, because an area of high density up top and an area of high density in the bottom. Might be a stellar nursery in here somewhere. It's glowing. I don't know if it's an emissions nebula or if I think this is an emission nebula and not a reflective nebula because of the color. Usually reflective nebula are like blue, but this one has interesting color to it. So I'm gonna go off. Yeah, it looks like there are little stars in here that are lighting it up. Well, let's find one, shall we? 'Cause I'm kind of curious. This one has 9 planets. Let's hope it's actually in the nebula and I'm not just like leaving the nebula. Ooh, I wonder if it'll have an accretion disk. That'd be awesome. If I have yet to see that in this game. A star and a nebula. Planets. Well, I'm not seeing an accretion disk. Let's check the planets it has. Large gas giant, that's to be expected. Some other stuff. Game's kind of frozen. That's nice. Oh well, it's 21 minutes. I should probably end this episode here. But yeah, when we come back next episode, we'll kind of stumble around this nebula some more, see if we can find a very new star, some early stuff. It'll be good. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and space.